Blox Fruits. The Second Sea Adventure. The salty ocean breeze filled the air as Ethan stepped off his ship, setting foot on the mysterious Second Sea for the first time. He had conquered the First Sea, defeating powerful foes and mastering his light fruit. But he knew that his real adventure had just begun. Welcome to the Second Sea. The moment Ethan arrived at the cafe, the bustling hub of the Second Sea, he noticed a different atmosphere. Unlike the chaotic islands of the First Sea, this place was filled with experienced warriors, bounty hunters, and traders discussing the rarest devil fruits. He approached an old man sitting in the corner. The man, known as the mysterious scientist, looked at him with sharp eyes. "You're new here, aren't you?" he said, sipping his tea. "Yes," Ethan replied. "I'm looking for the strongest fighters." The scientist chuckled. "If you want to survive here, kid, you'll need more than just your fruit. The enemies in the Second Sea are ruthless. You must seek out the legendary raid bosses, learn awakening powers, and maybe, just maybe, you'll survive." Ethan grinned. This was exactly what he was looking for. The first challenge: fighting Don Swan. His first target was Don Swan, a powerful boss hidden deep within the Kingdom of Rose. Legends said that Don Swan was one of the wealthiest and most dangerous warlords in the Second Sea. Ethan navigated through the kingdom's maze-like alleys, dodging guards and bounty hunters until he reached a massive golden palace. Inside, Don Swan sat on a throne, surrounded by his minions. "So, another weakling has come to challenge me?" Don Swan smirked, his eyes glowing red. Pathetic! Without hesitation, Ethan activated his light flight ability, dashing toward Don Swan with the speed of a lightning bolt. The two clashed in an explosion of energy. Don Swan's attacks were fast and deadly, but Ethan had mastered his fruit. After a long, intense battle, Ethan unleashed his divine punishment, sending a beam of light crashing down on Don Swan, knocking him unconscious. "One down," Ethan muttered, wiping the sweat from his forehead. Who's next? The quest for awakening. After defeating Don Swan, Ethan knew he had to awaken his devil fruit powers if he wanted to face stronger enemies. He traveled to the hot and cold island, where a secret raid boss, known as Flame Emperor, guarded the awakening temple. The battle was brutal. The Flame Emperor controlled magma and fire attacks, making it nearly impossible to get close. Ethan had to dodge lava waves, firestorms, and explosive bursts, but with his quick reflexes and mastery of his light fruit, he managed to land a final, devastating blow. As the Flame Emperor fell, the temple's doors opened. Inside, Ethan found a glowing altar. He placed his hands on it, and suddenly a surge of energy ran through his body. His light fruit had been awakened. His attacks were now faster, stronger, and deadlier than ever. The legendary duel. Rip Indra. With his newfound power, Ethan set his sights on the strongest opponent in the Second Sea. Rip Indra, the mysterious warrior who ruled over the Forgotten Island. Ethan arrived at the island, only to be greeted by Indra's cold, piercing gaze. "You think you're worthy of facing me?" Indra asked, unsheathing his legendary sword. Ethan smirked. "Let's find out." The fight was unlike anything Ethan had ever experienced. Indra was unbelievably fast, his sword strikes cutting through the air like lightning. But Ethan was ready. Using his awakened light fruit, he dodged, countered, and unleashed a devastating judgment ray, shaking the entire island. After an intense battle, Ethan finally landed the finishing blow, knocking Indra to the ground. "You are stronger than I expected," Indra admitted, before disappearing into the shadows. The journey continues. With Rip Indra defeated and his fruit fully awakened, Ethan knew he was ready for the next challenge. But there was one last secret whispered among warriors in the second sea, the portal to the third sea. Ethan looked out into the horizon, his ship ready to set sail once more. "The adventure is far from over," he said with a grin. He tightened his grip on his sword and stepped forward, ready to conquer the third sea.